Well, I've had a special request from Julie in St. Louis to do a quick video on how to sharpen secateurs, knives, etc, etc. So I need a cameraman. Dylan, I need a cameraman. Sorry. There we go. Got it?
Yep.
Great. Okay. Right. So cutting instruments in the garden, secateurs, shears, etc. Obviously brilliant things to have, quite expensive to buy, especially if you're buying really good quality ones, which is what I would suggest you do. A good pair of secateurs, for example, can last you your entire gardening lifetime. But they're useless if they go blunt, and dangerous actually if they go blunt, because you have to apply a lot more pressure to cut if a pair of secateurs is blunt, and you also run the risk of the secateurs slipping, and you don't want to go down there. So I keep a sharpening stone in the little pouch of my secateurs all the time, and I sharpen them as they go. And a nice flat action for the sharpening stone. Come in a bit, Dylan, and you can see, hopefully, that I'm keeping the stone really flat to the blade. It's not a stone, of course, it's made of metal. I think this is Felco one. Other brands are available. And if you do this all the time, and you're keeping that blade nice and sharp, you see. Now these are called anvil secateurs, where you've got one non-cutting blade, which is where the stem that you're cutting rests against, and then a sharp cutting blade. There are other types of secateurs called bypass, where both blades cut, but this is the kind of classic secateur, I suppose. There we go. Now, Dylan, how would I check that that blade is nice and sharp?
Run your finger down it.
Run my finger down it? Well,
or chop someone else's finger.
Or chop, that's nice. No to both of those, young man, and that's frankly not what we want to be doing at the moment, when we need to look after our friends and loved ones in the NHS who are working extremely hard to keep us safe. So no, Dylan, you don't run your finger down the blade. I'll show you what you do in a second. So quick demo on how to sharpen a knife. This is a whetstone. Ooh, lovely bit of kit. So, you could use one of these to sharpen a knife. I prefer to use a whetstone. And it's a very similar action. Nice, flat action. Not like that, not tilting the blade up like that. That's not going to work. You want to keep it nice and flat. Not too much pressure.
Do you do both sides of the blade?
On this one I do both sides, because can you see it's sharp and, well, it's angled on both sides. So yes, that's a very good question, Dylan, and I thank you for it. This is my grandfather's whetstone, so this is about 100 years old. Pretty cool. The other side is very worn, but this is nice and flat still.
How is it worn?
Worn from lots of blades being sharpened. So, how to check if a knife or secateurs or whatever are sharp without running your finger down it? You just look down the blade. Come in nice and tight, Dylan. When you look down the blade of any sharpened knife or secateurs, if it's got flat spots, blunt spots, the light will reflect back from them because they're flat, so they're bouncing the light back up. When it's nice and sharp like this, there's no reflection, no dull spots. There you go. So look after your gear, thereby looking after yourself. Don't do anything silly with your thumb to check whether something's sharp. And I will see you again very soon. I've had all sorts of requests for videos. I think I'm going to do one on setting up a veg patch, which seems to be a very popular subject at the moment. Toodle pip.
Bye.